Just a quick one. This is the 50-inch Samsung RU7470, which is a store-specific variant of the RU7400. The price is £499, so it's definitely one of the more affordable 4K TVs we have reviewed on this channel. The design is straightforward, with a semi-gloss front screen which doesn't handle reflections all that well, a Y-shaped central stand with built-in cable management system, and 3 HDMI 2.0 inputs at the back of the television. Unsurprisingly, given the price point, the Samsung RU7470 is an HD LED LCD whose screen is illuminated entirely by LED modules along the bottom border. There's no local dimming, only global dimming, and Samsung's dimming algorithm means that there may be noticeable backlight fluctuation when the scene cuts from bright to dark, and vice versa. The TV uses a VA-type LCD panel with true RGB subpixel structure, which translates to deep blacks by LED LCD standards, but narrower viewing angles. Once peak white was aligned to 120 candelas per square meter, black level measured 0.032 candelas per square meter on a 4x4 ANSI checkerboard test pattern. However, due to the limited viewing angles, in darker scenes, the left and the right sides of the screen would glow brighter even if you watch straight on from a normal viewing distance. As TV screen size becomes larger and larger, this is the reason why Samsung and Sony are implementing wide viewing angle filter at the expense of contrast performance on their higher-end VA LCDs, so that they can minimize the gamma and color shifts along the sides. Looking at the spectral power distribution, the Samsung 50 RU7470 uses PFS phosphor to achieve wider color gamut coverage of 92% DCI-P3 and 72% Rec 2020. For SDR content, Rec 709 color accuracy was good after calibration, with an average delta error of 1.54 and maximum error under 4 in this challenging color checker SG chart where 140 color patches were measured. As a result, SDR material such as 1080p Blu-rays looked natural with realistic skin tones. The RU7470 uses a 60Hz panel which limits its motion performance. First, it cannot perform the correct pull-down for 24 frames per second movies, so slow panning shots would exhibit telltale telecinic judder, although you can argue that it's not as apparent on this 50-inch screen as it is on a 65-inch TV. Second, the RU7470 cannot interpolate to 120Hz, so although there's judder reduction in the Auto Motion Plus custom submenu, it couldn't increase the motion resolution beyond the sample and hold baseline of 300 lines, merely introducing more interpolation artifacts. There's blackframe insertion or BFI on board too, which is activated by engaging LED clear motion. While this can boost motion resolution to 1080 lines, unfortunately, LED clear motion also comes with all the downsides of BFI, namely a drop in brightness, an increase in flicker, as well as significant image duplication. Furthermore, because the BFI operates at 60Hz, Samsung forces maximum frame interpolation when using BFI for 50Hz broadcast we get in the UK and Europe, leading to visible interpolation artifacts. Screen uniformity on our review sample was above average for an LED LCD. There is only very mild dirty screen effect or DSE, but we saw some color tinting at certain tones. Also, the extreme edges of the screen are tinted purple and look slightly darker. As is the case with all Samsung TVs we have tested to date, if you feed standard definition resolution to the RU7470, there is no way to disable overscan, but at least the upscaling looked forgiving with minimal ringing, albeit with some junk pixels. Even though the Samsung RU7470 supports HDR10, HLG, and HDR10 Plus formats, peak brightness was too low for an effective HDR presentation, measuring only 260 nits on both a 10% window and full fill. The television adapts its tone curve according to 1000 nit versus 4000 nit metadata, and so could preserve all specular highlight detail even in challenging 4000 nit films. Although because of the low peak brightness and lack of any local dimming, many scenes can come across flat and compressed with a washed out appearance. For gaming, input lag measured 15 milliseconds in both 1080p SDR and 4K HDR game modes. The TV supports auto game mode switching but not variable refresh rate or game motion plus due to the 60Hz panel. To sum up, The Samsung UE50RU7470 is decent for SDR, not so good for HDR, but that's to be expected really, with a price of only £500 at this end of the market. For 50 quid plus or minus, we would be tempted to also look at the Panasonic GX800 or Hisense U7B, which both carry additional Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos support. If you have found this video useful, please click the like button and subscribe to the HDTV Test YouTube channel for more videos like this. I'm Vincent Teo. See you next time.